Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Today is episode number 254 on my journey to 1800 ELO. So, if you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know how the weather is on your side of the world, and let's get right into it. So, here we go. I guess maybe you guys might like some music. Let's do some music. How about that? Some of these episodes have gotten kind of long. Alright, got some tunes on. Into the 10 minute pool we go. I'm rated 1248, which is an all-time high for me, so I'm pretty proud of my rating right now. And we are playing a 1225 player from Iran. Good luck, my friend. I'm gonna play a London. I have said in the past couple videos that I've been learning some new openings, so hopefully we start playing a new white opening as well here soon. I do have a new opening for white. Okay. I'm gonna make a space for my bishop, which is kind of a slow move. But E3, okay, he leaves his bishop at home. I don't know if that's a great move or not, but we're gonna keep it real. Play like this. If he puts his dark squared bishop here, a lot of times I block. But I don't know in this case. I might definitely block in this case because I've played H3 and I don't want him to get into my camp. Now, a move knight to B4 is usually relatively annoying for me developing because my next move wants to be bishop out, but I don't want him to trade his knight for my bishop, so I'm going to play C3 and then play bishop to D3, I think. So he's castled. I'm ready to castle within a move or two. I do want to play knight D2 as well, but we shall see. My opponent's pretty solid right here. We are as well. I do think that putting the knight in front of his C pawn is kind of a mistake, but I'm not necessarily good enough to really make him pay for it. I don't think that I have any significant way to do so. So looks like he wants to bring the knight here. I could just stop it with a move like this, and then his knight kind of looks silly. Yeah, because if his knight gets here, he's got a lot of pressure in here. I'm gonna just play a slow move B3 just to disallow his knight. And if he wants to take, I think taking is fine. If he pushes, I'm not a big fan of that. Not a huge fan of that. I do want to get castled though, I think. So what happens if I push here? He just lands his knight here like he wanted in the first place. Yeah, if he does this, I take, he takes. I can't take back. So I'm going to put the knight here so that if he does decide to push, I can win the pawn. I guess that's his entire plan. So here I have a few different options. I could take with my knight. I could take with a pawn. I could also take with my e-pawn. I kind of like the c-file being open. However, my king is not castled, so there is that. If I take this way, if I take this way, his bishop cannot come into the square. I'm going to castle on the next move regardless of pretty much whatever he does, so it doesn't matter too much, but I'm going to keep the pawns symmetrical. Probably castle on the next move. He can't move the knight here. His knight is kind of silly over here, so I want to get the rook now to the c-file for sure and castle. So castling, rook to the c-file, rook c1. and just play chess from there, I think. We're a little slow on the castling side this time, but we do have a little bit better development than my opponent. I don't know. Maybe. I guess I can't say that. He is castled, I'm not. His bishop is at home, but again, he's castled. So I do have all my minor pieces out, but castling needs to be next on the agenda. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm even okay to... Yeah, I'm just going to castle. I'm not worried about the bishop. Could kind of kick the bishop out if we want to on the next move. I could play a move like a3. He takes, I take. I can't take the knight there, but if I play a3 and he just moves, I could win another tempo on the knight, but then the knight just jumps in here. So, well, if he jumps in there, I actually win a pawn, so that works out fine. So a3, if he takes, I guess I'm okay with that. I think so. We'd have a bishop pair then. That'd be pretty cool. What else do I have here? Knight into the center is always a fun move. Always a pretty decent move. Okay, so he moves his knight, I guess, to help defend the bishop. So now, I mean, this doesn't look terrible, but it's not what I wanted in the first place, really. I guess it wins a tempo. If he takes, I'm relatively happy with that. I don't want his bishop there, so I am going to ask the bishop what it wants to do. So if he wants to trade, I'm down. I think this is a good bishop for him, so he should probably keep it on the board. So taking the position as a whole right now, we're feeling pretty good. I want to move my rook over to the c1 square. I think that I want to play b4. Like, you know, I mean, if he takes, I'll take with the queen. I do want to get in, I think, probably b4 to just restrict his knight. Yeah, that's a weird move. So what's the thought? I go here, you go here. Huh. And then he's threatening this pawn and this. So we'll just move the rook to b1, I guess. I was looking at rook a2 as well, but I guess this is fine. That's a kind of a weird move to me. I mean, I feel like he's just gonna have to move the bishop again here in a minute. I mean, he could take my knight. I don't know. His bishop's in a weird spot now. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I wanted to play b4 kind of anyways, so yeah. So if I do this, he takes, I take. He's made a lot of bishop moves. I'm gonna put my knight in the center. I do this every game, and it's usually not the best way to go about things, but this is what I'm gonna do. Put the knight in the center. He feels nice and strong here. I could take this and mess up his pawn structure, but I don't know if we really want to go for that. So I think now I can put my rook on the file like I wanted to in the first place. Rook c1. I can probably get my queen to a more active square. Alright. So this messes up his pawn structure. I'm attacking the queen, so he can't take. And now probably take the bishop is probably the way to go. My opponent's got this pretty strong center now, which I'm not a huge fan of, but yeah, I'm gonna take. It's not really what I wanted to do, but it'll do. So I got my knight here. I'm looking at moves like this now to try and attack the opponent. We'll see if I can pull something like that off. I do like that my rook is on the file. That is kind of what I wanted. It feels pretty strong here. His knight is pretty restricted. I think that it probably needs to go back. We'll see what my opponent wants to do. I guess if he goes back, I could move my knight maybe back to the center. I don't know. I don't know. He probably sees that I have a kind of setup for, what is this called? If I take, I'm gonna go for it. I don't get this very often, so I'm gonna go for it. So the best move is king here. Which is kind of a counterintuitive move. I need to think about this. So I think that my move is to bring the queen in. I could also defend the knight. I'm gonna bring the queen in. I kind of sacked a piece for an attack, and I need to kind of make sure I get one. So I'm looking at sliding the queen over here. I guess now he can bring the rook over, which is relatively annoying. I've never had somebody play king h6 before. I have plenty of time. I should probably think about what I'm doing. I probably need another piece. I just don't have. It was probably a little quick to show my hand the way I did. So if I move queen here, he's gonna go king here. I guess I'll attack the king. This is a cool fork, so we'll do it. Yo, that was wild. I don't know why he resigned. I don't think he should have resigned, but I like what we did there. I'm really not that much better here, and I didn't think I was. Like, I mean, I'm down a piece, right? So I'm gonna probably win an exchange here, and we'll be kind of like even material again. But I'm still like down a piece. So, yeah, I don't think he should have resigned. 81.5% accuracy. We did have a blunder. I think yeah, I think the rook or the bishop move was a blunder. I think we played a really good game up until maybe that point. We'll see. So, knight out. Definitely not the move that I need to be doing. E3 is almost always the move I do play, but here I played a little bit differently, and H3 was a slow move as well. We played C3, and I like this move because I do want to get my bishop out. I don't really want to pin the knight, and I want to put my bishop on D3, and I don't want his knight to ever be able to come to B4. So that is what happened. This was inaccurate. I didn't need to do anything like that. Just develop this piece. If he brings the knight there, I just take, right? That's super simple. That's how I play every time. That's why the London is solid. Like, this is a dumb move, and I know it's a dumb move. Just play your regular moves. Don't return the favor by playing a silly move like B3, which could have just been accomplished by developing another piece. So rant over. I took with the wrong pawn. I kind of never play this B3 move, so I've weakened this C4 pawn, and it's not really what I normally do. But this is nice because I'm really binding his pieces over here, and I have a majority, and I can probably push and win. But we get to this position. Nothing really wrong here. That was a weird move. This was what I thought was the best move. I didn't want him to do this. Let's see. Oh, yeah? Yo, the computer is wild. I would never, ever, like, look at this. I mean, I'm better, but this looks crazy. This is crazy. I don't think I would do any of that stuff, guys. I didn't want to allow that, so I think we did fine. Calculating what we didn't want. I moved the rook here to be like, all right, what are we going to do? And my next move was going to be move the queen, probably to, I was going to go queen c2 to just kick away the bishop. But he moved on his own accord, so we attacked the bishop. I put the knight in the center, which is the best move, which is nice. Rook over was a bit inaccurate. Taking this and breaking his pawn structure is all. I find that when I play these positions and I do finally put my knight in the center and he is not taking it, and you know, when he even, I like to wait for him to really try and set up like attack, like to take my knight, because then I like to just take the knight anyways. It's what happened in the game basically, but I wanted to secure the file. I liked my rook on this file because when he takes back with the pawn, it's gonna be a really weak pawn, at least with no other pawns that can defend it. So here I took the bishop, he takes. This was a mistake on my end. It was better for me to put the queen here because I can just immediately put pressure on this. I wouldn't take because almost certainly he's going to play bishop to b7. But then we get in and we can start doing some stuff here maybe. I liked what I went for, but it ends up being straight up a blunder. So yeah, it doesn't work. So yeah, it put us below. If you guys see the eval, you know, when he takes back with the king, it's minus 2.1. I go for the check. Yeah, I didn't have anything here. He played a fine move. Most people take, and then when they go check, they back up, and that just leads to the checkmate. But if you're smart, bringing your king out to these squares is pretty good. this just allowed me to give a check, and I found I didn't have a checkmate here, and I was kind of coming to the realization that I don't have anything. Like, I do have another check here, but king just takes the knight, and we might be able to still actually get there, but the way I saw it was the king runs. So, yeah, this ended up being a nice little fork on the queen and the rook, and he just resigned. And I'm better here, and I'm gonna get like back the exchange, like, which is nice. But again, I'm down a piece, so I have 2 rooks and a queen, for what would be, you know, these guys would be gone, right? I have 2 rooks and a queen for what would be 2 pieces and a rook, which is better than a rook, right? He has basically played without this rook the whole game, and I mean, rooks are usually the last thing to come out and about, but he has opened up this file on my king. Getting into an endgame would be scary. This bishop does suck. It might have some promise of, you know, trying to open up the position maybe a little bit, but I don't see it right now. We played pretty well. I shouldn't have gone for that. I should have calculated a little bit farther. I don't have a lot of pieces, so normally when I go for something like that, I have, you know, I still have my dark squared bishop. I still have another knight. Potentially my e-file is usually open. If it's not open, I don't know. I didn't have it right there, so I should have calculated a little bit better. But we played like a 1500. My opponent played like a 1300, and I've reached a new peak. I've crossed 1250. I'm rated 1255. I'm freaking happy. I'm loving it. So today was a pretty quick game, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. See you then.